Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ground Up Podcast, coming to you from the Level Wellness Studio deep in the heart of Brentwood, Tennessee at the B2 Wellness Suites penthouse. We are here to tell the untold story of entrepreneurship and to turn pain into pivot. Let's get this show started. I am here with Vanessa and Roy.
Hello, hello.
And I guess, did I introduce myself?
No. Everybody knows who you are, Terry, for God's sakes.
Thanks for saying my name. There we go. Now I'm officially introduced. We're also coming to you, radio listeners, on the Nashville Sports Radio Network.
WNSR.
Yes. Well done.
That was good. What's the numbers?
I don't know. That's why I didn't do that.
Maybe. Possibly 97.9.
We should probably put a sign up here. Guys, we're super thankful for you listening.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us on a Saturday morning.
It's the John Burton Radio Network.
That's how I know it. It's the John Burton Radio Network. So shout out to John Burton. Our first segment is brought to you by Craft Body Scan. So your health is the most valuable asset. And the truth is most of us don't know what's really going on inside our bodies until it's too late. That's where Craft Body Scan comes in. With a quick, painless scan, you can get a full look inside your body, detecting early signs of cancer, heart disease, and other health risks before they become serious. Craft Body Scan, we appreciate your support. Y'all can go check them out at craftbodyscan.com. Done with the ad read. Super thankful for all of our sponsors. And let's get caught up here a little bit. We got a third wheel on the old couch here. Roy, what are we going to do about that?
That's a little painful on the ego. A third wheel.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say third wheel.
Third wheel, you don't like that?
I don't think I like that.
Well, someone's got to prop us up.
We gotta call it.
We're still learning
different.
to ride the bike. We've taken one training wheel off and you're the other. How's that feel?
Okay.
Does that feel better?
Okay.
One training wheel off would explain this podcast. Just one.
In a nutshell.
Just going around in circles. Circling the drain.
Circles. Just in circles. And then, and then you just fall over, oddly, just on the left side.
Dad, I got it.
I got it.
Something on your side.
Tilt.
Vanessa, thanks for coming and joining us.
Thanks for classing this joint up.
Yes.
For God's sakes.
Yes.
I like that better than the whole third wheel visual.
I got you.
Bringing the entrepreneurial energy. I was trying to be funny, Vanessa, and they don't always land, okay?
It's okay.
All these out-of-work comedians and Terry's telling jokes.
I'm about to be an out-of-work podcast host because Vanessa's shooting daggers at me.
Yeah.
You'll make up for it during the podcast with praise at some point.
I hope so. Now I'm going to double down.
Pressure's on.
Vanessa, give everybody a little bit of your background because maybe they've not been listening to our podcast. Maybe they don't know about you and B2 Wellness. So give everybody up to speed real quick if you don't mind.
I am Vanessa Hampton. I am the owner of Bodywell and B2 Wellness Suites and the all-new founder of the all-new WellPro Thrive, which is a membership-based community of fitness and wellness professionals. So basically, all things fitness and wellness is what I do. From fitness and massage with Bodywell, I have a team of trainers and massage therapists, to B2 Wellness Suites, which is a community of small business wellness professionals, office space and office solutions. And then WellPro Thrive is the community aspect of all of that, working to bring fitness and wellness professionals together and find support and community within that.
Well said.
Thank you.
Well said.
Well said. Only 2 floors to go before this whole joint's taken over.
Well,
I'm taking a little rest here for a minute from the last year and a half.
only about a floor and a half, right?
Well, we're on 2 floors in Brentwood, and then we have space in Mount Juliet as well. There is one more floor here that I haven't tapped into here in Brentwood. So
You may be the commercial real estate revolutionary.
I don't know what that means.
With what you're doing. I don't either, but I think it sounds really good.
Sounds great.
That's the kind of the point of the show, right? That's the pivot. You created the pivot and made a very probably worried landlord building owner feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, he's not.
I
He's
didn't think about that.
he was a little. I had to basically promise my firstborn grandchild to get in here with this whole concept. Thankfully, they were willing, and now since I've expanded twice, he is a pretty big fan. So
Sure.
He's gonna let you keep
Absolutely.
your
concept proven. Check.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we just got done doing the Well Pro Thrive networking event, which was
Yep.
fun when you have two introverts trying to plan.
It's the start of a joke. Two introverts start a networking group.
It's going to be fun, they said. It'll be great. That's why there's copious amounts of Samuel Adams and THC drinks in our office.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cantrip, for your donation to our anxiety. No,
Do you want to explain the office? Do you want to tell them about the
About our
office?
Clubhouse. I feel like you should.
I think you should. So we are sitting in the NFM podcast studio and office space, the OG office space.
It's true.
And now next door to this, we have what I've lovingly referred to as the COC office, which is the collaboration over competition, where
Oh, I like that.
Terry and I share an office space.
It's true.
We have no monetary integration, whatever. We just two entrepreneurs share an office space so that we have a coworker and a processor
Yep.
and support and
I like
all
it.
the things. So
This is
Very cool.
This is why Roy's has got a considerable cut down in calls from me, complaining and whining about things.
Yeah.
Because I could just whine to her,
Yeah.
and Roy's like, "Phew, I can get work done."
now Roy's got to come hang out with us.
Hey, I told you what it would take.
Yes. We got we're working.
Lanterns.
We're working on this.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Well, it's not been 3 months, maybe 4 months since you and I met.
I was thinking about that. It's probably 4 months, I would say.
And we come together with some force. And I think what we love about working with one another is the same thing that I love about working with Roy. And what it is, that one thing, we're going to work together and define that and how it's affected both our personal entrepreneurial visions and drives, as well as how it's affected our relationships and how do we see it affecting society. So that's what we're going to unpack on this show today.
A lot of words.
It's a lot of words. It's wordy. But I made it bullet points on the whiteboard that we're looking
That's
at.
very good.
So it's elaborated very
There's
much
cheat
so.
notes behind the scenes.
Yeah, you cannot see our whiteboard teleprompter. Getting into that, starting this show off, and what I'm reminded of is our conversation that Vanessa and I had a little while back, coming from your husband, and I won't name drop him on the show. I'll let you do that. And I don't want to get fully into the relationship part of this yet, but you mentioned something about him being surprised that you have fear in what you're doing when it comes to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to spend a minute and I want to unpack what that looks like for all three of us. And we're going to start with Vanessa because she's on the couch,
There you go.
the most comfortable.
I'm on the therapy couch.
Couch of confessions.
Yes, the confessional couch.
Yeah. So when
love
I
that.
opened B2, my personality is I have more internal. If I am stressed or if there's something going on, I hunker down and close in and power through. It's what I do. He has big emotions on the outside, and which is great. It's a good compliment for me and what I need. But with that, I didn't even realize that. So with opening B2, I was terrified. I mean, it's
Sure.
a huge financial terror. Is this going to work? Terror, fear of failure. What does that look like? I've worked for 15 years building my other business. How would that affect it? And what do I do to navigate that? But it's one of those things that the fear, and it doesn't often, fear doesn't stop me. I move, as you put it, I move with the fear.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize until just a couple weeks ago when we were talking about it that I mentioned to my husband that I was terrified when I opened it. He was like, I didn't know that. I just assumed he knew that because that's, how could you not be? But I think I present in and probably part of it is I I don't want him to have any doubts about this. I know that it's a scary place if you're not somebody who is an entrepreneur and who is willing to both feet off the ledge kind of person. So I know that brings some fear there. So I was probably managing those emotions a little bit.
No.
But yeah, he had no idea. He's like, I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me that? Because I didn't want you to have any doubts. I could not handle you having doubts and putting that in me, because it's taking everything I have to find that confidence to move through the scary parts. So
why do we think that is? Because that's what I want to ask you, Roy, is like, why is it that what is it that maybe it's a what? I don't even know how to even structure the question, because I know how I deal with it, but like, what is that? Like, are we so used to, when it comes to fear specifically, that we're so used to moving with it that we don't want to, is it that we don't want to stop and acknowledge it? Or did we just priority rank it down?
I think you always acknowledge it, but what do you do with that?
Right.
I mean, so what? So what
you have two choices. You either don't respond to it and you stop and not do it, or you move through it and do it.
Yeah. To me, it's not important. I'm scared of whatever. Okay. We either quit and go home, or suck it up and do what you got to do to do whatever you're trying to get accomplished. But it doesn't, when you were saying that, I was like, God dang, that's exactly, I've never thought about how I am, but I'll have, a $200,000 credit card bill that's due. That's scary.
Yeah.
I was poor growing up. I lived in a trailer park.
Yeah. Talk about tapping into your deep-rooted fears.
So when you think about that, I'm just like, well, I'll figure it out. It's got to happen.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Being worried about it, scared about it, and all that will not answer any of those things.
Do you talk about it to process that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Why?
Same. Yeah.
That's what I'm alluding to, though, because that's how I feel too. It's like it's present and acknowledged, but it's only taking up like just a small percent of my brain.
But it's like, with the things an entrepreneur deals with, most people can't relate anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They don't relate how it is to, those different things. So if I sit down with my wife and go, hey, we're going over bills, and by the way, here's my Amex bill. Dude, she'd lose her. She'd freak out.
Well, which is, it's case in point of why we connected so quickly, because I made this statement the other day when we met. I was like, I don't know what this is. I've never met anybody that I just showed up equally to, and I don't scare him. He doesn't, I get you, you get me, and there's none of that. So to have somebody who understands that without you having to worry about managing their emotions or putting fears on them or anything like that, that's where the power comes.
Right.
When I was, this is total sidebar, and you can take this and turn it into a business here in a minute, but when
you say that like I'm gonna.
Well, I know she will for sure. She's into the real estate. But when I was growing up, I worked for this company, and I never even drew this line here until just now, but they rented a space instead of a business incubator. And it never, what a business incubator is, what you've ever heard the term?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a business incubator is just like an infant incubator. It takes something that's life is very fragile at the moment and it helps it get over the hump. Same thing with the business incubator. It takes flailing, fragile businesses and helps them get solid footing. So it puts them, under a roof with shared resources, similar to this. Like you would have shared phone systems, shared secretary, shared printing, shared go down the line, marketing, whatever. And it helps them grow until they can leave the incubator and go out on their own. But the one thing it always missed was the networking part. Mm-hmm. And I never even thought about that till you were just saying that. Like, that's the magic of you being here and you starting this is no one, you can't talk to your husband about it. I can't talk to my wife about it. She'll sit and listen and she'll tell me how smart I am, which is dumb, which thank you. I'll take it. But it's not. It's necessity.
Yeah.
We have to figure out we're the only ones that can move this thing forward. I know I'm not the smartest person in the room. Either I have to find the smartest person in the room or I have to find a solution. And if you don't have other entrepreneurs who go through the very similar thing on a daily basis to talk these things through, you're on an island to yourself.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
So like you two having that synergy together here is huge. And that's the one thing that business incubator never had. And it was amazing facilities. This guy was in aerospace and sold this aerospace company, had millions of dollars, and bought this huge warehouse and then converted it.
Oh, wow.
So like an event space and meeting rooms and all this stuff, but they didn't have the community part.
I didn't realize, and I've said this, I've made this statement before and we've talked about it. I didn't realize I was missing it until I met him.
Sure.
I didn't know. And then it was like, oh, there's validation, there's understanding, I see you, all through that. And it's been huge. And that is where Well Pro Thrive was born. That's what we were talking about the other day. I never, this time last year, or even at the beginning of the year or anything, that timeline, I wouldn't have even thought of that. But the importance of this and having to not feel like you're on an island and having that support. And most people that work in an office, if you're in insurance or title or any of those businesses, you walk into an office, and I've been there when I was working in business, and you have coworkers. My husband, he goes to work, and that was really what made him understand this relationship. Because I told him, he goes, if he's a detective with Metro, he can talk through things that are happening
with
every
other
day
detectives on the
with
same
other
level.
detectives that have an understanding, that are in the trenches with him, that understand that I can't understand. And I told him, I said, I don't have that. He goes, you don't have that. I said,
so imagine
but
if he was a Metro detective and he was the only one, and the only person he could talk to would be patrol officers. You wouldn't solve shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
I mean, it'd be very difficult.
Well, and on an even bigger level, he's a sex crimes detective. So there's a whole different level of things he can't tell me.
Right.
And it's different material, but it's not different than some of the things that I could say to him that would be, he doesn't get it.
Well, I want to get more into this and how it affects relationships, but we got to take a quick break, and we'll come right back.
We know prevention is always the best medicine, but our healthcare system can't prevent disease. It only helps when you're already sick. At Kraft Body Scan, we find cancer, heart disease, and other health problems before symptoms appear. And that early detection could be the key to saving your life. Take your health into your own hands. Schedule a couple's heart and lung scan today for only $149. Visit togetherwescan.com.
Okay, right before the break, we were talking about the entrepreneurial drive and how community affects it, that Me Too idea, right? And before we get back into that, this segment's brought to you by Defiance Fuel, which Roy has happened to be holding right
Hold on one moment.
Right there it is, right there.
Demo.
That's the wettest water out there.
High quality H2O.
I want to bring us back because we're talking about community over competition. We're talking about community in general. We're talking about networking when it comes to being an entrepreneur and why it's important. So, Vanessa, before the break, you were talking a little bit about your husband, Bill, and how the the relationship of you and I partnering up looks like, and you explaining the power of that community. So can you go into that just a little bit more?
Yeah. So he's seeing a difference. I guess this is where you're wanting to take this, but he's seeing a difference in me when we've had conversations about having this partnership during the day. I'm able to rest easier at night because I have something, a process during the day. I'm able to talk it out. I'm able to process all of that where I didn't have that before. And I didn't even realize how heavy that was all the time. I think about that feeling all the time. And I had a lot of problems shutting it down in the evenings. And it was a very blurry line between one continuous one continuous thought process that carried into the evening. And so he's seeing a big difference in me, which is why he's so supportive of the relationship, because I'm a lot more present when I go home.
Mm-hmm.
My spirit is lighter. Everything is
Mhm.
just different. Who knew? Who knew the
Yeah, you
power
don't know.
of that?
Yeah.
I really didn't. I had no idea what I was missing.
Yeah, and I think the opposite is what so often, and I think this is what I want entrepreneurs that are listening to hear, is that I've struggled with the opposition to that, because I have been in the world of doing this solo for so long. I've even had some challenge in the last couple of years of people being like, why do you have a business partner? I'm like, because I've done this by myself and it sucks. And I'm not going to go nearly as far as I am when I'm going to partner up with someone smarter than me.
No.
And the people that are smarter than me are in the room. And that's important. That's really important to me. And like the adverse effect to that is that, like, for my wife, who has worked with me in all of these businesses, who I'm super thankful for, and I could not do it without her. Everybody knows that. She definitely keeps this train on the tracks. She's even the reason that Ezra makes it here on time.
Not now that he's bought that new car.
Yeah, that's right. What I have learned is that I got to be careful to not bring it home, because what I end up doing is making her in the same anxious mess that I am. I'm like, oh God, please don't become like me in that.
Well, that goes back
Right.
to that managing emotions.
Correct.
It's difficult.
Right.
You don't intend to do it, but you have to do that when you have a spouse that is the opposite
Mm-hmm.
personality.
Yep.
Your wife is the opposite personality?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. She's similar, emotional on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like she's in healthcare and education, very similar to being a police officer. Things are.
This is how you do it.
This is exactly how things
Regimented.
are handled. It's a government.
There's a protocol for
There's a
problem solving.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
So when I talk about anything from doing the finances to sourcing products to cleaning the bathroom at the shop, like she's like, well, wait a minute. Like there's no janitors, there's no, and you have to explain, hey, this is just how things are. And like when you go into for me, like the finances of it, money isn't just there like a government job, and nothing against government jobs because they're great. But if I don't make it, I don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't make it, I can't keep the thing afloat. And sometimes the leverage certain months are what most people would not even be close to comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've done this for long enough as an entrepreneur, you're like, this is just how the flow thing goes,
Doesn't mean it's still not unnerving when you get to
Yeah,
those
sure.
points.
It's unnerving.
Yeah.
But, like I find calmness in data.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully I've done this long enough. If I have a bad month and, without getting too far in the weeds, a lot of stuff's, 30 days in arrears. So I may have a big month the month before. So the bills are higher. The next month, the income's lower. So now you've got a flip flop of 60% and you're like, holy, cow. Yeah. But you can look at the data and go, this is typically a low month. And then the next month is a huge month. So just kick the can down the road. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
See, I love that. I wish I did that more. I move on such instinct with everything that mine goes back to reminder. Okay, I have to remind myself instead of looking. I need, and he brings that to the table too.
No,
I got it from him.
Yeah,
tools.
Instinct is good, but data doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Numbers never lie.
Yes.
Instinct can sometimes.
I need to lean into that.
Well,
more.
I think the instinct gives you the drive, right? Like the instinct is it's what I equate to analyzing risk at high speeds, which people are like, oh, you're just such a risk taker, and then it says it feels like it's coming across the negative connotation. It's like
It's calculated risk.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
calculated risk, and
Based on
over
experience.
based on
Sure.
experience and what experience / time or whatever. The amount of the more we do it, the faster we are at it,
Mm-hmm.
and the more we can do it on the fly. And if we're putting fear in its proper place, and we're leaning into the intuition, and then we add the numbers to that, right? Then anything feels possible.
Yeah.
In that moment,
You're putting the
And-
odds in your favor.
Exactly. You're looking at all the things holistically too, and you can keep moving. That's the calculated part, right? So
Mhm.
I think that's what it's hard for people to understand, and then I think there's some envy there on one level, and then there's also some, man, I don't know how you guys do it. Like kind of like, hey, you're crazy,
Mm-hmm.
which I can say we certainly are.
Yeah.
There's definitely times that we felt that way.
That's what Bill says all the time. I have a great respect for what you do. I do not want any part of what you do.
Yeah.
So when people, I think it's a badge of honor when they go, I don't know how you do that. It's kind of like David Blaine.
Yes.
I don't know how he floats from building to building, but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. How does he do that?
How does he do that?
I
Some
bet
trickeration.
I bet. There he is.
You got tricks.
There he is. We have to probably chat GPT that and figure it out. How does David Blaine go from building to building? It's going to be likely mirrors, smoke and mirrors.
That's how I do everything I do. Smoke and mirrors.
That's how I move through every day.
So let's talk about that part real quick. We've got a little bit of time before the next break. Let's talk about what does it look like when you're analyzing risk at high speed, right? Calculating that risk. It's the tagline at the beginning of the show. We're turning pain into pivot. So potential pain, right? And then potential pivot. What are the one, if you all have one, what's the most recent one? Maybe on a large scale, small scale. So you guys got anything that's coming to your brain?
I think probably, if I understand what you're asking,
No one normally does. So
well, we're gonna go with this line of thought. I think for me, it's when I've got my hands in different things, and when I opened B2, my original business, I have done it long enough to where it's to a place where it kind of drives itself to an extent, and so I've let it skate for the last year and a half because my energy needed to be devoted to this endeavor. And so I just got to a point in this last week that I needed to reevaluate some things and figure out what I wanted. Do I want to continue to grow this? Where are the opportunities, and where is my heart with what I'm doing? What do I see as that? And so having to reevaluate I've worked my tail off for 15 years to build this business. I may not want it to be multi-city or anything like that, but my passion is still at the heart of what I started initially. And so balancing that, staffing that, and putting the effort into making sure that the people that I have serviced for that long are getting the service that they need, and that continuation. That's where the pain points are now, is reevaluating. I think always that's where my pain points are, is I get to this place of uncomfortable, and then I have to figure out, okay, what's going to make me comfortable? Where is that? I guess that's the easiest way to put it. And when I say I'm all instincts, it's all in my stomach. It's not even something like, I would like to say that I look at a bunch of numbers or things like that. That is it's probably a weakness of mine. I'm good at the numbers and everything, but that's not what I make decisions off of at the forefront. I think it's probably goes into that whole bowl of instincts. But yeah, when I get uncomfortable, it's like, okay, something is telling me that I need to refocus and figure out where that next step is.
Oh, I love that. And that's I want to hear from you on this right after we get back from this break. And we're back. This segment brought to you by Black Rifle Energy. You've tasted their coffee. Now try their energy drink. It is awesome. My favorite is Ranger Berry, and it's not because it's at my right hand. Vanessa's is Freedom Punch.
Oh,
That's also not
Is that right?
because
Because
it's right there. beside
mine's way back there on the shelf,
me. Of course it is.
the white one.
Of course it is. Where we were just talking, and I want you to jump in on this. Most recent pivots.
About 2 years ago, I'm big on numbers, but also the gut thing, right? So the gut usually tells me to go check the numbers. That's how I kind of operate. So it's about 2 years ago. We're probably 50% in events, 50% online at the time. And if I go back further, 2018, our revenue was 30% online, 70% events. I was like, what if we don't go to events? So over that, from 18 finishing 19, I got it to 50-50. 2020 happens. There's no events. So if I wouldn't have,
That's crazy.
yeah, that was God. It wasn't me.
That was awesome.
He's like, kicking me.
yeah, maybe you should look at these numbers.
2 years ago, I started watching because we track everything, how many athletes are at events, how many dollars we do, how many transactions, average transaction value. And I started looking at that and I'm like, that's falling off. It's not, we're falling off. Our average transaction was actually up, but the average attendees was down. And as I watched, it was like year over year. I'm like, okay, we need another source of revenue because this isn't going to be sustainable. So we looked at because we were already dabbling in the customs. We went heavy into customs, looked at what's the profit margin on customs, how much does it have to grow to offset this, which is a smaller profit margin, and then shift all your energy over here. So, and that was a gut thing that told me, man, this don't feel right. Because I look at deposits over the weekend, I'm like, well, we did 20 here last year, now it's like 17. What did we do different? It should go up every year, it should never go down, right? Even if it's a small percentage. So that told me to go look at the numbers. I went and looked at the numbers, and I was like, got to figure something else out because this ain't going to haul the hay. And I think that's the formula, right? Because you can't successfully, I guess, or maybe for lack of a better term, holistically look at the future like we always do. I mean, I think that's the commonality to all three is the drive and the vision, right? You can't properly look at that future and create that drive without having that intel, because you are able to shift. And even if you got 20 to 30% shift with your revenue before you had something like COVID, like that's what it's supposed to do. That's what that data is supposed to help you avoid.
What about you? Have you had a recent
pivot? I don't know how recent. We're working on building something for personal trainers, and I had this elaborate. And this Roy can speak to this. I always had this elaborate plan.
Very elaborate.
Yes, it is blueprint worthy. A couple pages of blueprints, and I've been shopping it and talking to a lot of people smarter than me. So I'm bouncing it off of Roy. I'm bouncing it off of an investor. I'm bouncing it off of a couple of other interested investors in this idea. And one of them hits me straight, and she's like, I think you should start with one service offering, and then it should have X, Y, and Z in it. And I think that's where you should start. And it just literally pulled the rug out from everything that I had in my mind. And I was like, well, it's a lot of work. It almost felt like more work to whittle it down. But I took a second, digested it on a drive from the 20-minute drive from the meeting to back to the office. And then I went to the whiteboard and I made it work on the whiteboard. And I was like, huh, that's pretty brilliant. It's a big shift, big pivot. I think it's really, really smart. I think it's wise. I think it, I've had, Roy's, you've even done this too with the same idea. You've kind of hacked at it's kind of a way to challenge the idea, right? To pivot, letting someone in on it, challenge your perception of the idea and how you think it could work, to make it so simple that it can't fail. That's the difference.
That's always what you should start with.
Right.
It's not saying you can't do all the things,
right,
but you don't start with all the things.
Correct.
If you're building a house, you don't build the roof at the same time you do the foundation.
Right.
That
They
brings
go
up
in
a good
stages.
question. I know how the primary, when you need to stop, tell me to stop.
I will. I'm watching my timer over here. You're good.
That we think differently in one aspect. If I get an idea, like WellPro, I knew the idea was what I wanted to do, but I don't place long-term expectations about what that looks like. I'm not that person. It's more of, I know this is the right thing to do. I know, but I don't know exactly what it looks like, and I'm okay with that moving through it. Terry tends to think of, this is what I want, and then backs into the steps. How do you go about things?
I can't do super long term.
Okay.
If I would have, nothing that I'm doing now would have been what I envisioned 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I have to go, okay, I'm starting X. What do I want to do in the next 12 months? Then as you build that out, you see, okay, you get to the end of the 12 months, the picture gets more clear. I go, oh, okay, well, this realistically can be this in 10 years. But it's like throwing darts. If you're starting from zero and you're going, for me, 10 years out, I can't see that.
Yeah.
Because I would be disappointed. I mean, I would.
So that's why.
No, I'm just saying. No,
I'm just saying that's why I'm disappointed all the time.
It's great to have that huge vision.
Yeah.
But you also have to set realistic expectations to self-control your emotions and letting yourself get what do they call it? Your ass over your head or whatever.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
That tracks.
One of my country sayings. But set the realistic expectations of, okay, well, let's just achieve this first.
Yeah.
Then now we got proof of concept, of what this thing can be, and then we can go from there. But if you just start with, such a huge thing, to me, like, it's too daunting. Like, I don't know where to start. I don't know.
I put a lot more pressure on myself if I think too far out.
Yeah. Well, and I just can't.
Yeah.
I just go, okay, well, I know I can accomplish this. Let me go kill that first. Then once I get that, then I can start to see, the fog clear and go, okay, well, it could be
right.
That, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of weird that we all have our own thing too. And
it all works.
And it all works.
It's just, we're all different, right? So people think differently, process differently. Right. She goes off her gut, I go off numbers. They both seem to work, right? So it's whatever
which goes
works
back
for
to
you.
The power of this.
Yeah, sure.
I think the trifecta there is that when you do a little bit of all the things, then you can really excel. But you wouldn't know that if you weren't talking about it. So
that's right.
I think I look back at you and I's relationship and how I was started pursuing it, at least mentally, in 2018. And we didn't start working together until post-COVID, 2021. Right?
What was
2020, 2021, something like that?
2021, yeah.
And I just look at that and think, that's how long it took.
Terry said, "You're gonna be my partner. You just don't know it yet."
Yeah. He's a stalker, straight up.
That's true. That's true. He's never wrong when he states it. Was trying to find something to bring back to Roy.
Yeah,
I finally did. And now he's tied to me. Can't let go.
That's true.
No, just kidding. The vision part. I think I can. I mean, you've seen me do it. Have elaborate visions and then have to dial it back. And you're like, well, let's just take a deep breath. Like, that's a great idea, but maybe start here And sometimes I need the verbal shaking of the baby. Get a hold of yourself. I'm reminded of airplane. Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah. The next person comes up.
Yes. Get a hold of yourself. No, that's helped me tremendously. So it's not. I'm glad it's not a means to an end, because a younger version of me thrives in that space. Right? Thrives in what could it look like?
Mm-hmm.
Dream, 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 dream.
Mhm.
The older you get, the more that it feels like it's impossible to carry out. And then you start getting you can get depressed
Sure.
by having dreams and goals and visions that you can't achieve.
Yeah.
And then you feel like you're regressing, and you feel like
Well,
the best days are behind you.
The accountability that we hold ourselves to is a blessing and a curse, right?
Mhm.
That's so many
it's
times.
unforgiving, but it's also why we're successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The
there's a
entrepreneurial
balance.
vehicle.
Have you ever read the book The Gap and the Gain?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
You need to read it,
Okay.
because it, like, more often than not, entrepreneurs live in the gap, and the gap is from here to here. You have idea, you want to get over here. I'm in the middle of this valley. I can't.
Right.
It's impossible to get to the other side.
Mhm.
This sucks, and no matter the successes, it's depressing.
Right.
The gain is the grace. What was accomplished? Let's say, for instance, with this, you're like, I was taking over this whole damn building. But if you were at where you're at today, and you're like, I failed.
Right.
What do you mean you failed? You got
Mm-hmm.
2 floors full of your tenants.
Right.
Yeah, but that bottom floor, or whatever floor it is,
Sure.
We just had that
it's the
couple of days ago.
Got to look
he
at the
said
gain.
something about he said something about a loss, and I go, but what did you gain this week?
Mhm.
And he was like, well, nothing. And then, well, there was this, and
Yep.
there was this. So yeah, it's that perspective.
That's the phone call she saved me from for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, that's usually how it starts. He's
Yeah.
like, so and so left.
Yeah.
But we picked up these other 2. I'm like, dude, why is this? This could have been an email.
Just give me the email that I wouldn't read.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't have read.
That's
No, I'm
true. I
kidding.
don't read emails.
You'd be like, "This is wordy." Call me. Can you
got-
sum up?
You have 2 sentences. If you don't set the hook, delete.
2 sentences. Duly noted. Duly noted. Could have set the hook. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, we got to take another quick break here, and then I want to get into some maybe controversial topics.
Oh.
All right, I love the subject matter. Last segment, let's pull this all together, guys. We're gonna pull it together. This is where Terry
Pull
goes.
it together, Terry.
This is where Terry wings it.
Breaks out the duct tape to
Let's put-
hold it all.
Let's put it all together. That's that's been in my entrepreneurial toolbox for quite a while, Roy.
What's that?
The duct tape.
The duct tape
can't-
method.
As I say, if you can't fix it, duck it.
Duck it. That's
Yep.
right. Duck it.
Sorry.
Sometimes I just wish we could just let you ad lib,
Duck it
because
all.
there is a impromptu comedian in there somewhere.
I'm going to write a book.
Well, I've been
Just
telling you
saying.
to
It's
do
your
that.
delivery.
Yeah.
That's
Is that what
what
it
it's-
is?
yeah.
I've been telling you to do that for years.
Yeah, it's the delivery.
Write a book or be a
Yes.
comedian?
Write a book.
Yeah.
I think they're the same.
This is why I like talking to you, because I can see it in your eyes when you're about to just deliver.
Pull the pin and throw the grenade. Oh boy, here comes another one.
Oh my gosh. Well, in the in the spirit of entrepreneurship and pivot and all the things that we've talked about, I think one of the biggest pains about being an entrepreneur is finding someone to match your energy. And we have found that in this room, and I'm super thankful for the relationships that I have in here. Roy's seen me through some very dark times, and some of those have been somewhat recently. I always get off the phone with Roy and feel like like there's just a deep breath. Like you help me release a burden even if you didn't mean to, and I really appreciate that.
Perspective.
Or just took your mind off of it.
You know, or took my mind off of it, or made a very, very
'Cause
funny
he's got
joke about
jokes.
it. Or you've straight up said, F them. I'm going this way. I was
I
like,
do say that.
fair enough. You're also the only other person I know who's been like, what's that person's name and the name of their business? I will bury them. For someone who has hurt me or gotten in my way. And I'm like, that's my ride or
You
die.
gotta have people
That's my
that
man
bow
right
up
there.
for you.
That's right.
And I was like, I gotta hold it back, Roy. Not this one.
I will throw hands.
He will throw hands. So thankful for that for sure. But in the world of finding that, where it feels like chance with us, Vanessa and I was a heat-seeking missile and stalked Roy to no end. What does that look like to create that space? And go. How do we find those relationships? What does that look like? How
that's a
does an
great
entrepreneur
question.
with that type of drive and that vision, who they're looking for? That's a softball
That's
question,
hard.
guys. That's
That's
a softball
That's
question.
not a softball question. In my opinion, it's chance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, at least I'm not smart enough to know how to interview for that.
Yeah.
I have tried and failed miserably. Like my warehouse manager has been with me for 9 years. And we used to work out together. And that's how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
And she's been with me like my right hand. Like I don't even have to finish sentences, thank God, because half the time the words don't come out anyway. And she knows where I'm going.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, cool, I'll take care of that. Or if I come in and somebody's pissed me off, I'm like, God, what are they doing? She's like, I'll handle it. She goes and handles it. She knows. But that's rare,
Well, and I think the biggest thing, so that it doesn't sound like it's impossible, you have to put yourself out there. And I think this is where being social, whether it's in a community like what we're trying to create with WellPro or other methods, you have to put yourself out there. And for us as doing this on our own, you can get caught up in every day you're doing what you do, you're running your business, and then you're going home and you're crashing on the couch and
True.
you're not
Yep.
putting yourself in a position. It's just like if you were
dating
or wanting to date, if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to have a date.
Sure.
So I think figuring out those places, wherever that is, with wherever you are in life, whether it's the same business or a different business, I think ideally it would be similar passions but I mean, even us sitting here, you're in a completely different business. It integrates, but Barbell Voodoo is different than NFM, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just surrounding yourself with people or putting yourself in a position to meet other people.
What I'm getting is we need Match.com for business owners.
Right. Oh my gosh. There's the next one.
That's actually.
Go ahead and start that now.
I feel like we've, if you're listening, you've been able to gather 2 different business model ideas.
We're
from Roy
just starting.
today.
We're just starting an idea for an app for WellPro Thrive.
We got Business Incubator, and now we've got Match.com for entrepreneurs. My favorite way of doing that is, and this has been, Stuart's brought this out of me, and this has been recently, and Stuart's one of our fractional general managers out there working with Stat Wellness. He's adopted the method of vetting potential employees or partners with EOS, like using the traction model. If you all haven't read that book, that's another good one. There's been a couple books mentioned today, like The Gap and the Gain, and the Traction's a good one, because there are visionaries and there are integrators. So if you can do a little test and real quick test in an interview, or have them take the test before you interview, you can figure out, are this person a visionary? That means they're highly qualified for a management position, and I'm likely going to butt heads with them. Because you will. Like, visionaries don't always see eye to eye, but if there's enough of a gap, then there's collaboration involved. And I think there's enough of a gap between you and I, and certainly between you and I. And then you're hiring integrators, because you need people to integrate the idea, right? They're the ones that make the movement go forward. So if you boil it down, it's also very similar to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you read the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I feel like I've heard of it, but
I feel like there was a lot of kids that had to
Are we
read
going
it
to start
in
a
high
book club too?
school.
'Cause
Yeah.
That's 3 things. Okay.
It's $3. $3. I hope you're keeping track. 3 books and 2 business ideas.
Just for the record, I've read none of them.
None of
It's all audiobooks.
It don't matter.
because we don't have time to actually
I ain't got
sit
time
down
to
and
read, but I got to
But
drive.
we're in
so.
a car at 100% audible.
Yep, no one's got time for that. No, they put it in the same 2 categories. Is there's a business owner, and then there's he says clock puncher, and I don't love that.
I hate that.
But the idea is the same, right? You need somebody that will show up without fail because they need a paycheck and they don't really care about where you're going. Now, I think modern era now is that you can actually mix the two, that someone that does want a regular paycheck, that doesn't want the stress of,
Sure.
running the ship, that they would like to clock out and go home and not have to think like we do.
True, but if it's someone that's just there for a paycheck and doesn't care, then you're not working for me.
Correct. And I think
I weed those people out.
you can. That's easier to weed
fast.
out than anything.
I don't care that if you don't want the stress, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're there, think of the money we're spending as your money, and have pride in what we do. It's your signature going out on that package. If you're just going to slap it in there and whatever, then
And it is hard
go work
because
at
finding
Amazon.
people that care about your business as much as you do.
That's impossible.
It's impossible. But even finding people that respect your business as much as you would want them to, that's the key.
I think that comes from the culture you build.
Mm-hmm.
If you build the right culture, then they may come in going, hey, this is just a job, to you look back in 12 months. I have one there that I look at her where she came in to where she is now. She was a culture fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She buys into what we do. She'll randomly text me ideas on the weekend. That's when you have someone who is bought in.
Yeah.
Now, there are a couple of things that I want to point out from this entire show that we have. I was listening to the radio yesterday, or not the radio, a podcast talking about new studies about people coming back into the office and how hard it's been. And I think the things that we sit here and that we have learned over the course of our regular work experience and our entrepreneur experience are simply this: you are way more productive when you're working with a team of people that get you, right?
Sure.
That are on the same page, but you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to do that, which means you're going to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So there is productivity in community, period. But you can't have community without culture.
100%.
Right? So if we're creating a culture of, hey, you can do this too, for the person that's the visionary, and then eventually they're coming to work for you, but they're not staying.
Yeah.
And they've got their eyes set on something else. And you can treat them in that way of, cool, work for me for a second. Let me help you I'll give you as much wisdom as possible while you knock out this thing. Yeah. And then you've got your integrators who are there because they need to be there, because we all need them to be there. Those people aren't there just to fill a seat and be a warm body. Those people are there to be part of that community, that culture. And that comes back to the main mission of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that mission is, right? If you're communicating that all the way down to the janitor, then we've got a good culture fit, right? Mm-hmm. And this is how you get people back in the office. We just solved the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I properly sum that up?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I think the remote thing, which it sounds so cool, but you're so disconnected.
Right. Yeah. I just having an office, I was actually to the point before this office that we started building together next door, I was about to go pay for, it sounds so crazy, but I was about to go pay for a co-working space for me to go to have an office to go to every day, because my home base was my home. And as great as it was to have that flexibility, I was missing. I couldn't focus as well. I couldn't
Didn't
cut
put
it
on
off.
real
It
pants.
was always right,
No,
all the time.
today.
So yeah, and it is so refreshing, even over this last month or so that we've had this office, to have structure to my day and have a place to go.
Mhm.
And that is one thing, a big thing too, that is contributing to my mental health and my mental place. When I get home, I
Yeah.
feel like I can cut it off. There's very
Right.
clear lines
Yeah.
of what is work and what is home, and time to let it
100%.
go.
Yeah, and there's a such thing as too much time on your hands if you're working remote or hybrid. Like, I think that is what I'm starting to see. It's like you fill your time with work, but you also manage to put enough stuff in between your work spurts that you're now created a schedule that is not ideal because you have no guardrails. You don't have a clear start and stop in any one thing,
Mm-mm.
and you're certainly not as productive as you could be in community.
Yeah.
Therefore, it doesn't feel like you ever get anything done, and all your projects are open-ended. That sounds like hell to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you're sitting in an office like this and I'm working on something, where if I was doing it at home, I just keep hitting my head against the wall. I can't get through this thing. But if I'm sitting here, I'm like, hey, somebody look at this with a fresh set of eyes.
Mhm.
Right.
And then somebody goes, well, what if you move this over there and didn't think of that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Boom. Now I'm on to the next thing where at home I'd have been like, go do a load of laundry.
It's
Something.
right.
Something.
exactly.
Get away, you know what I mean?
There's always that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we do need that part, but it's a lot less than you think.
Well, it also makes you more grateful when you do have those days of, I'm going to work from home for a half a day today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit on my couch with my computer.
For sure.
And you're a lot more grateful for those moments than.
Feels like more of a treat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Guys, this has been awesome. A lot of fun. We got through my whiteboard, and good work for
Woo.
sticking with where my brain was not. I did not go full force on that board for
That's
you to
okay.
understand where I was going. So, no, I appreciate you all being here.
Yeah, fun times.
Vanessa, tell everybody where they can find B2 Wellness and WellPro.
b2sweets.com and wellprothrive.com.
There we go. Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, listening from wherever or watching from wherever. We couldn't do this without you and your viewership, so we were very, very grateful for that. We also like to thank our sponsors of the show today. We've got Craft Body Scan, Defiance Fuel, and Black Rifle Energy. And to our studio sponsor, Level Wellness. We also couldn't do this without you. We really appreciate you. Guys, Level Wellness is opening in Franklin here in the coming months. So look out for that. You can find out more information on Nashville Fit. On behalf of Terry, Roy, Vanessa, Spread the Positive, Nashville Fit Magazine, and our engineer sitting behind the ones and twos, Ezra Bargy, we'd like to say thank you. And if you found this at all helpful, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. We will catch you on the next one.